Please, please, don't stop. Good morning. I'm Andre Bauer, former Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina. Thank you. Thank you very much. I actually had the honor of serving in all my 30s as the Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina, youngest in the country at that time. Ain't it great to live in a golden age of the greatest country on earth? Now, if I'm being honest, there's one little thing I'm actually embarrassed about. And it's that, and it's that in the same time we have the greatest president in the history of our country, my little old South Carolina, one of the most conservative states in the Union, has an amnesty-pushing, liberal-loving, big-spending, Ukraine-prioritizing, Clinton-supporting, globalist U.S. Senator in Lindsey Graham. I feel the same way. And that's why I'm running against him. Now, we absolutely know he's not America first. President Trump knows that. He called him a rhino, he called him a progressive, and he was right. I'm the exact opposite. I'm a real America first conservative, guaranteed. In February of 2016, I endorsed Donald Trump as one of the first conservative leaders in America because I wanted a change. I wanted a truth agent. I wanted someone who didn't just learn talking points. I wanted someone that was a fighter. Two years ago, when Donald Trump launched his comeback campaign, amid unprecedented lawfare, phony indictments, I stood with Donald Trump again. I was on stage when he announced for president again, and I was very, very proud. Because I knew again, he was the only one that had the strength and courage to keep his promises, to secure the border, to deport millions of illegals let in by the Biden-Harris regime. He was the only one that would cut taxes for workers and families and stop the forever wars pushed by the globalist cabal in America and in Washington, D.C. I truly believe the America First movement is the future of the Republican Party. And I believe I'm looking at the future of the Republican Party. But that cabal in Washington, they're not going away. If we want to preserve what President Trump has created for decades, we got to get these snakes out of the Senate. And you know the vipers I'm talking about. I'm talking about the politicians that promise us they're going to Washington and represent the will of the people. When they get there, they absolutely turn their back on the very people that got them elected. They stab us in the back. They go along with the swamp. They get cozy with the Democrats. And they send billions of dollars to Ukraine and other foreign countries. They support the USAID gravy train. They protect the status quo. They break their promises. Jeff Flake and Mitt Romney, they may be gone from the Senate, but their fellow vipers, they're still there. Mitch McConnell and Tom Tillis, thank God, they've decided to retire. And John Cornyn, he's going to lose his primary or retire as well. But we need to cut the head off the biggest snake, the biggest two-faced viper of them all, and that's liberal Lindsey Graham. We want him to join the McConnell retirement party. Show of hands, how many of you in here are 30 or under? Wow. Now get this, Lindsey Graham's been in Congress longer than you've been alive. 1994. The Lion King, absolutely. The Lion King and Pulp Fiction were in theaters, and O.J. made that white Bronco famous. Now, he promised 12 years. He's 19 years past his expiration date. And how does he spend his time in Washington? Voting with Democrats, of course. He voted to put Obama nominees Sotomayor and Kagan on the Supreme Court. He voted for Kerry and Clinton for secretaries of states. Remember that fist bump he gave Kamala right after the 2020 election on the floor of the United States Senate? In 2022, he voted with Joe Biden, get this, 70% of the time. The same Joe Biden that he defended as not corrupt. The same Joe Biden he called as good a man as God ever created. The same Joe Biden that we all know was in mental decline, but Lindsey Graham never said a word until after the cover-up was exposed for the world to see. And get this, Lindsey Graham, he said he likes Nancy Pelosi. Can you imagine? Now think about this. Nancy Pelosi's supporters, they talk about her power and how she yields that power or wields that power, but what nobody ever says is how much they love Nancy Pelosi. Heck, I don't even think her husband says that. Only Lindsey says it, and they love him right back. And why wouldn't they? He's right up there with Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski when it comes to senators that vote most often against their party. Nowhere has it been more on display than when it comes to immigration. Liberal Lindsey fought tooth and nail, not for South Carolina, not for America First, to give a path to citizenship. He's fought so hard that they've named it Grahamnesty. Every bipartisan gang there's been up there, the Gang of 8, the Gang of 6, the Gang of 10, he's been in every gang out there. Shoot, we ought to check his knuckles for tattoos. And when he's not pushing amnesty, he's pushing globalist foreign policy and more military intervention. Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Iran, there's not a foreign country he doesn't want to risk American lives. I haven't found one, not one. I couldn't believe just a few weeks ago I turned on the TV and he said, our military men and women would be happy for regime change in Iran. He wants to put boots on the ground. What a disgusting thing to say. Can you imagine? The forever wars, the foreign aid he's been a cheerleader for. They haven't just cost us American lives, they've contributed to the national debt. When Lindsey came into Congress, the national debt was $5 trillion or just under. Now it's over $36 trillion. So we're getting $1 trillion a year for every year he's been in office. But that didn't stop him from supporting USAID where he was on the board, the agency that President Trump said we had to cut because the radical left was running it and it was engaged in tremendous waste and fraud. So liberal Lindsey, he's real good at pretending to be somebody he's not. He does it about every 6 years when he's up for re-election. I'm a real America First conservative, guaranteed. I've never wavered in my support for President Trump, unlike Lindsey, who threatened to invoke the 25th Amendment on the floor of the Senate. He even said, I'm done with Trump. He wanted to end the president's term early, invoking that 25th Amendment. He wanted to get the book thrown at him and have him gone as our president. He even said he hoped January 6 prisoners, even if they only just spread flowers on the Capitol floor, should get the book thrown at him. Can you imagine? He wanted them to be sent to jail. He even said if he had a gun, he'd have put a bullet in their head. He joined the left in their lawfare. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of South Carolina deserve a senator who shares conservative values, who truly is an ally of President Trump. Liberal Lindsey gets applauded in Ukraine, but he gets booed in Pickens, South Carolina, where he was born. It's time to deport him from the United States Senate. It's time that he joins McConnell's retirement party. I would ask you to please join our team. Go to andrebauer.com. And lastly, I want to thank Turning Point. They're changing lives. They're changing the fabric of this country. You're here for a reason, because you're leaders in your respective areas. Charlie Kirk, thank you for giving me this time. We can together make a substantial difference that makes our country better and supports our president. God bless. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you.